my name is Ackerly Shelzam, and today I'm going to be doing a little video on lower leg muscles, the gastrocnemius and the soleus, and just showing a few different versions on ways to get them strong. So one thing to think about, and this will be in my comments as far as steps and reps, but you want to try to make sure you fatigue the muscle groups. So if I say 2 sets of 10 and you get through that and you really don't feel like a muscular burn, or however you describe fatigue, whether that's the inability to complete a rep or a good tired feeling, if you don't feel that, then you do want to still continue to keep going. You might want to add a set or a rep, or maybe add some resistance. Resistance is definitely something that I fully subscribe to, meaning that when you put a little bit of weight in your hand, you improve your bone density and obviously ask more of those muscles. So big fan of getting resistance in the hands or like a weighted vest. Today you don't see me using any of those things, just so that you can see exactly what my knees are doing. The weights tend to obstruct my knees a little bit. So basically what we're going to start here with is a double leg heel raise is what I call it, and the knees are going to be straight. I want to try to have place an emphasis on slow and controlled movement, and I really want to do my best job to keep my knees straight but not locked. So I think 99% straight. I'm going to go profile view so that you can get a good idea of what I'm going for here. So good posture, straight up and down, nice and smooth in control on the way up and down. So normally I'd do about 2 sets of 10 reps on the double leg, and once again I'd have free weights in each hand or a weighted vest or a bar on your back, but definitely try to load up if you can tolerate it. So when you're moving up and down, doing your best to keep your knees nice and straight. The knees do have a tendency to try to buckle a little bit as you lift up, or you might find yourself vaulting, so doing your best to be smooth and controlled. So after 2 sets of 10 on the double leg, straight leg heel raise, then I would get into a single leg loading. Big fan of getting both a double and a single leg loading just as far as it relates to function. So double leg, that could be something dynamic like coiling up and jumping, or that could be something as simple as getting out of a chair. And single leg, same thing. It's college March Madness coming up here, and so you can't help but think of the layup as somebody's driving toward the basketball hoop. They're going to usually come off of 1 foot, so that's a single leg load, pretty dynamic. Or if you're walking, that's a single leg load as well. So double and single leg to me is very important to get both. So on the single leg, I have a step here. This could be anything though. This could be a book, just something to kind of put your foot on. So I'm going to place my foot here, and I'm going to do my best to get all the weight in the leg that's on the ground, not on the step. I want to project myself straight up. Once again, back into that smooth and control. Once again, around 2 sets of 10, and the third, once again, is going to be putting some weight in your hand, a weighted vest, or bar on your back. So that's a way to do a single leg heel raise, putting a foot on a box or a book or something like that. Another way is I'm going to put my hand over here against the wall to get a little balance assist. I'm going to drive this other hip and knee up to 90 degrees of hip flexion, 90 degrees of knee flexion, and then I'm thinking straight up and down with a single leg load. I personally like using my hand against a wall because I can't cheat and push off of it. So like if this was a couch or a chair, I might have a tendency to push and help myself out. With that being said, if you can't achieve it, then that might be a nice little modification. So I would do 2 sets of 10 on that as well. So we have 2 sets of 10 on the double, 2 sets of 10 on the single, and with some load. So that's our straight leg heel raise. Now next version, so this could maybe be a different day. So do the ones that I just showed on Monday, and then here comes Wednesday, and you want to mix it up a little bit, but you're still wanting to get that lower leg muscle strong. Flexed knee, meaning bent. So you're going to bend the knees to around 30 degrees. Good posture, straight up and down, in control. I'm doing my absolute best to keep my knees bent throughout the whole process, trying not to straighten them at the top or at the bottom here. I'm also mindful not to try to just rocker my feet back and forth. I need to make sure that I'm projecting my body up and down. All right, so that's a double leg, knees bent, heel raise. Then getting into the single leg, knee bent, heel raise. So all the weight's in this leg, lightly on this leg, got the knee bent, thinking about projecting myself straight up, smooth and controlled, 2 sets of 10. If you don't have the box, then you're gonna, or the book or whatever, you're gonna bend your knee, put your hand against the wall for a little balance, and up and down with the bent knee. Okay, so we've got a Monday workout with a straight leg, double and single leg. We have a Wednesday workout with a bent knee, double and single leg. And then here comes Friday. We want one more variation just so we're not getting bored and continuing to change it up for our muscles to get the most benefit. Remember, if you continue to do the exact same exercise over and over, it will become a bit of a diminishing return. So your body always finds the best way around an exercise, which is good, it's efficient, but when you're trying to challenge it to get strength gains, you do want to mix it up. So on the third day, we're gonna go with toe walks. So I'm gonna elevate as high as I can, and then I'm gonna take small steps forward. Doing my best to keep the good posture, doing my best to keep the knees straight. And I'm going backward. And then we move right and left. So heading to the right. Taking small steps, trying to be in control, and heading to the left. All right, so all this would be in the comments as far as sets and reps, but just real quick on sets and reps of walking heel raises, what I have a tendency to do is walk forward until I feel a small burn or a little bit of fatigue kicking in. And yes, I did say a little bit because we still have a couple other motions to go. So I'm gonna keep going forward. I wouldn't go in such a small space here. I'm just trying to stay on camera, of course, but I would go down my hallway all the way forward. And then if I got all the way to the end and I really didn't feel much of a burn, I would quickly turn around and head back forward again. So let's say I get down and up and down the hallway like 2-3 times and I'm starting to feel a little burn. Then I'm gonna go into reverse. So now I'm walking backward until I get a little burn. Then I'm gonna take a rest, about 30 seconds, 45 seconds. And then I'm gonna go to the right, little burn, and go to the left until I get a little burn. So we have forward, backward, left, and right. All the while I have either a bar on my back, weighted vest, or weights in my hands, as far as I can, if I can handle that. If I find body weight easy, I definitely wanna progress. So then the next day could be knees flexed. So then knees flexed, elevate as high as you can, small steps forward, backward, right, and left. Yes, I realize that one looks a little silly, but it is a really good one. So with the knees straight, you're largely targeting this muscle called the gastrocnemius. With the knees bent, you're largely targeting a muscle called the soleus. So we care about them both. There are two primary movers in our lower leg from here down. So we definitely care about them both. When you look at running, you use them both, and that doesn't mean just as a runner, that could be in any sport. So tennis, basketball, it doesn't matter. And same thing with walking. When you put your foot down, it's a bent knee. As you push through, you're gonna have a little bit more of a straight knee. All right, so I hope that helps out when people are thinking about different calf raises, heel raises, however you like to call them. Basically, we'll just say lower leg muscles. I hope that helps out with some of the people I've worked with, just as a way to shake it up a little bit if you're getting bored of one or one just seems a little too underwhelming. All right, that's it.